That's your twin sister.
We wore sailor suits until we were in those days, little boys didn't wear long pants until they turned 8. And we were dressed, that's my twin, we were dressed in identical sailor suits until we were like 7 or 6, something like that.
All the time?
Well, no, not all the time. Yeah, a good deal of the time, not all the time.
Is that who's that with their driver?
You know what you want to do is I do a good Truman Capote. And so when I'm telling a Truman Capote story, you just let me do the voice.
Yeah.
I mean, I read the complaint about it. Well, because if I, yeah, well, that's
Well, that would be good. Well, we should do that.
Because let me do Truman's voice. Johnson, I never said that. It's all a lie.
Do you want to do that? Let's do that.
Sure. What do you want me to say?
I want you to read that interview that I did the video of, and I'll put your voice there instead of.
Okay. How do you just want me to do Truman now?
Well, no, I want you to.
There's Dotson, and there is Dotson's little hooker boy in London, and he was so sweet. This is, I think, in Northern Ireland, because I brought him from Ireland to London to be with me. And he was a sweet boy. I don't know what happened to him. He had a huge family, like 9 brothers and sisters. Let's see now. Who do we have here? Let's see. I can't remember his name, but he was good in bed. This is all in Ireland. And now, this guy used to run After Dark magazine. What was his name? Ever see After Dark? That's Jimmy Kirkwood, who was a playwright. That's Sal Mineo, who was an actor. He was a sweet boy, and he was murdered. Forget who that is.
What were the circumstances of the murder?
He apparently a hustler. He was murdered in his home. Oh, wait, is it at home? Look it up. I mean, we can look it up. Yeah. So he was a sweet guy. And that's, oh God, that is that pornographer. And this is a motel where they're making a porn movie, great porn movie. And that's me, and that's one of the stars of the porn movie.
What was your role in the production?
I wanted to see the...
Did it meet your expectations?
Very much. Jerry Damiano, 1973, my God. You ever hear of the movie Deep Throat?
Yes.
That was his film.
Oh. A legend.
A legend in his own time. That's the Loud family. And they were very famous for a moment because it was the first reality show. And it was on PBS. They're a very nice family. That's more of the Louds. Look at me, how young I was. Oh, God.
And how did you get to, why did you become friends with them?
I don't know, darling. There was a point in my life where I knew everybody because you're very social. I mean, I haven't been invited to a party in years, but there used to be lots of parties and I was chief feature writer at Parade. I wrote for the Times here and the Times in London. I wrote for Esquire. I was a contributing editor here and there. And because of that, basically the lives of famous people are run by their publicists. And so one is invited to lots of parties in the hope that Dotson will want to write about them for Esquire or for the Times or something. Yeah. And so that's how you meet these people, and you become friends with them. And his Lance Loud, he died of AIDS, and he met Chris Makos through me, and they became very, very close friends. He was a wonderful, wonderful boy. Sorry he died. That's David McReynolds, who was head of the War Resisters League. This is during the Vietnam War period. And that's Earl Blackwell, who was kind of one of the social arbiters in New York. And he was a private PR man. There was people would hire him quietly, and he would make sure they were invited to the right parties, and they got the best tables. And then he got involved in, which is still going, in a restaurant club called Doubles, which is in the basement of the Sherry Netherlands. And what I liked him, because when you have rich people like that, what happens? You get a lot of old people. And so he would allow me to go there and very fancy pantsy and eat, and I could bring up to 6 people, and there'd be no bill, but they had to be young and good looking. And I'll tell you a story, but Josephine Baker was in New York, and I went to her opening night at the Palace. And I was going to write about her, and then it turned into something much larger, because when I went backstage to see her, it turned out she was broke, and she was staying at the Waldorf Astoria, and she had been locked out of her room by the hotel because she hadn't paid. She had no place to live. And so I said, there's got to be some sort of mistake. And I took her over to the Waldorf, and it was astonishing. And I went up to the desk, and I said, do you know who this woman is? And, I did the usual Dotson fit. And they were adamant that she owed like 2 months back. It was like $20,000 or $30,000, something like that. And they wouldn't release her clothes. They wouldn't release anything until she paid her bill. So I didn't know what to do. So I called Earl. This is Earl Blackwell. And he had a large penthouse on 7th Street. I think it's 6th Avenue. Huge, with a big yard and everything at the top of the building. And so I explained the situation. I said, I'm here with Josephine Baker. She was at my apartment at this point. And I said, it's very difficult because there's only one bedroom, and Richard and I are in it, and I didn't know what to do, Earl. And he said, bring her here, which I did. I brought her over to his penthouse, which was very large. And that's where she stayed. And she called me about a week later, and she said, oh, Dotson, Earl has gotten me a job. I'm starting to work. Can you please? I said, oh, where? And she said, at Doubles, Earl's Club. I said, how wonderful. Oh, you've got to come. You got to come. And I said, well, when are you opening? And she said, it was like a midweek, Tuesday or something. And I said, great, I'll bring a group with me, which I did. I brought 5 or 6 people with me. And so we walk in, and I've told everybody it's your opening night. He was one of the great stars, most popular American in Paris, and legendary. And we walk in, we're met at the door by Josephine Baker, who takes us to our table and hands us the menus. And says, your waiter will be here at any moment. And it was very loud. And about an hour into our being there, I felt so sorry for him. I was just playing hostess. There was someone sat down at this upright piano, and then Josephine Baker came up and stood by the piano and started singing. And nobody paid any attention. Nobody stopped talking. It was the most pathetic. And what happened is that Earl, because I told you she had no money, and so Earl, this sounds unlikely, but it's true, Earl called Princess Grace in Monaco and told her what the situation was. And Grace flew her to Monaco, and that's where she lived, in Monaco, with all of these adopted children. There's like 12 adopted children. And that's where she was till she died.
So what year was this?
This would be in the 70s sometime. She was a remarkable woman, but
So you're responsible for her ending up in Monaco.
Well, Earl really is responsible.
But you put her in touch with Earl.
Yeah, Earl Blackwell. There he is.